Leaves Project is a charity that also works with the Nikki Mitchell Foundation, and they're here. They're going to give you a little bit more information about the charity, what it does, how it started, and put everything into a little bit more context.
Thank you, my friend. How's everybody doing? This is pretty overwhelming and pretty amazing. I'm hoping while they're doing the bidding for this, I can just sneak out in one of the cars closest to the gate. That's my job. I want to get out of here in one of those. My name is Butch Walker. I'm a singer, producer, musician, and I've been doing this for a long time. One thing that's really sucked has been cancer playing a very unwelcome role in my life. It's taken the life of my wife's father and mother, best friend, a lot of family members. It's taken, more importantly, my father from me a couple of years ago, who was my best friend and biggest supporter of everything I've ever done. And pancreatic cancer, to be specific, is one of the most silent killers there is, and it's a really, really aggressive form of the disease that really sneaks up on people and gets them when it's a little too late. My dad was sick for 5 years with respiratory and all kinds of health issues, which I thought would get him first, and within 24 hours of being diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, he was dead. And so I started this foundation called the Autumn Leaves Project, and it's just now getting off the ground, and this is one of the coolest events I could think of to springboard it. And I work with the Nikki Mitchell Foundation, which this wonderful woman, Rhonda here, who runs the Autumn Leaves Project for me. She already has this great foundation set up. It's a nonprofit out of Nashville, Tennessee, and they work with a lot of people. And we're just really trying to raise awareness and raise money for a cure, more importantly, and just every kind of possible outlet we can to try to make this disease go away, or at least be treatable. So thanks for being here, and I'm going to turn it over to the head of the foundation, Rhonda.
I want to thank everybody for being here. My name is Rhonda Miles. I am the president of the Nikki Mitchell Foundation. It's not what I wanted to do with my life. I was a corporate pilot for 20 years. I was raised in aviation, and that's all I knew until I lost my best friend, who was the business manager of Wayland Jennings for 22 years. She lasted 31 months. Now this disease is a devastating disease. It's the third leading cause of cancer deaths in the United States. It takes you 73% of people don't make it the first year, and I will get emotional, and so if I start getting emotional, I apologize. But 92% don't last 5 years. So it's up to people like us, because the National Cancer Institute only gives pancreatic cancer 1.8% of their budget. So it's up to Butch Walker, and it's up to Rhonda Miles, and it's up to all of you guys to get out there and dig deep and help any organization that's pancreatic cancer. Ours preferably right now, or Butch's. But yes, dig deep, bid high, and thank you for being here. Thank Luftgeku and thank RM Sotheby's. Appreciate you for jumping in.
Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you, Butch. Obviously, cancer has touched all of our lives in some way, and for us at RM Sotheby's, it's a very special weekend for us as we honor one of our fallen colleagues who we unfortunately had to bury on Friday. And Dana Joy Brezzi, who was long-term employee of our company and a spectacular woman, we lost her to an 8.5-year battle of cancer. So this day, this cause, everything about today, it resonates with each and every one of our individuals and employees in our organization, and we're very honored to be part of it here today. So a couple little housekeeping items before we get towards the auction, one of which is going to be talking about the buyer's premium. There is no buyer's premium. That means that in the traditional sense where you would come to an auction, the auction company would place a 10% or a 12% or a 15% buyer's premium. The only thing that's going to happen today is you're going to buy these chairs or this car, and there's going to be state applicable tax. So effectively, that gets worked out as to where you take delivery of the car after. As for charitable donation amount, the appraised value of the 911 Porsche is $100,000. That means anything over and above the $100,000 is going to be a tax deduction. So you will get a tax deduction excluding the sales tax, however, a tax deduction on the amount over $100,000. As for the chairs, it's the same process, same policy. So anybody that has not registered to bid, you have one last chance. If I see your hand go up and you don't have a paddle, and I actually give you a bid, you're buying it either way. So just, understand that, know that. If you wave to someone, if you have a child that's waving to you because he's lost, you better think twice how much you missed that child. So ultimately, we'd like to have Patrick and Howie come up on stage and talk a little bit about the event, what we're doing here today. And first, before they do that, let's give them all a very big round of applause.
Wow. So this was just an idea that we had, Pat and I, about building a car, and then what would we do with it, and it wound up to be the best solution we could think of. It started out as just us kind of firing pictures back and forth. Hey, what about this? What about this? And it was kind of inevitable that it was going to be this car. And standing here next to it right now, it's amazing because it's so close to what we dreamed up. And we had a lot of people involved in this. And I think Pat can talk about, from Pelican Parts to Rod Emery. You want to go through the list? Yeah?
I can't get to everybody because so many people put so much time and so many hours of effort into this car, but the bottom line is that the spirit of the car is the same as this show. We're all here because we're people and we want to hang out and talk about cars and celebrate. So yeah, Joey Seeley was the man of the hour on this car. He basically lived with this car for many months. He tapped into Rod Emery and his amazing design team. Rod has decades of experience with these cars, safari rally type cars, and Joey is a guy that has worked on race cars with me for over 10 years. From there, the parts and the people such as John Benton came forward and said, hey, how do we help? And that list is so long, I'm not going to run all the way through it because you guys are here to celebrate an event. We're going to push this car out for a great cause, and I just want to say thank you to all of you for being here. This is just a little idea we had over coffee a couple of years ago, and the reason it is where it is now is because of hosts like Modernica who come forward and say, we'd love to host a car party, and do you think you guys know what you're doing? And the answer was yes, and the other answer was no, but we'll try our best. So I'm going to let Ian take this one over, and we'll get out of the way.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. We're all very grateful for your time and your effort. Seeing you out there this morning directing traffic is pretty cool, I'm sure, for a lot of people to see that. So, Jay Novak. Jay? So, Jay is our host. So, a big round of applause for Jay. And Jay's going to tell us a little bit about these two chairs and the process and why we're all here with them.
First of all, I am honored to have all of you here. This is a wonderful event to have at our little factory. And so I want to thank everybody that came. And of course, I want to thank Patrick and Howie and Ian and all the team of Deus that created such a wonderful event. I've been a Porsche lover since I was a little kid. So this is really a great gift for me. In 1949, when the Gemund cars were being built, when the Porsche family was building their first cars, in Los Angeles, there was a man named Charles Eames who wanted to design a chair that had a unified structure. And he went to a man who was a fiberglass expert here in town, one of the only fiberglass experts in the United States at the time, to see how to facilitate that. And by 1950, this fiberglass went into production, this fiberglass chair. This is the first consumer fiberglass product. It came before the Corvette, before the Kaiser Darren. This is the first widely used fiberglass product. I was fortunate, and my brother Frank, who's a co-founder of this company, we worked with those people, not Charles Eames, but the people that created this process. And much of that historic equipment is in this building. and we're still using the exact same methodology that was used in 1950 to make these chairs. They're very similar to what a Porsche is. If a Porsche was a chair, this is what it would look like. And to have Deus with Carby Tuckwell modify these, much as Howie and Patrick modified this car, is really terrific. They're very much parallel first cousins, I would say. I think Carby's going to talk about. Yeah. Carby's going to talk about what he did here, I think.
Thanks, Jay. Yeah, less about what I did and just how much of an amazing opportunity it's been to customize a design icon like the fiberglass shell chair. And Jay's already said it, but there's a real harmony between what we did with the chairs and what the guys have done with the car. I don't know if I've mentioned it, but I think each one of these chairs is going to be signed by the team who put the car together, so they're going to be connected at the hip forever. So thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, gentlemen. We appreciate it. And the actual retail price of one of these normal chairs?
We'd be at close to 500 and 400 here. Yeah, that would be about right.
That works. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be selling one chair by itself and a set of these four. As Carby mentioned, they'll all be signed by everyone involved with the car, with the project, which is a wonderful keepsake as well. So we're going to start the bidding. Actually, we'll start the auction today with the lot of 4 chairs. These 4, you're seeing one here, obviously. We promised 3 more will come with it, and a lot of signatures. So we're going to start the bidding. Now, you heard him in terms of all the price. Basically, we're going to open the bidding at $2,000 for all 4 chairs. So if there's anybody out there that's like to start this off with a bid of $2,000 for all 4 chairs, thank you very much. $2,000 is bid in the room. $2,500. Anyone for $2,500? We'll take $2,500 as the next bid. I have a commission bid of $2,500 with me, so the next bid would be $3,000. $3,000, sir? Would you like $3,000? Anyone else can jump in. It's a good way to get your feet wet till we get to the car. Okay, so you know, keep your blood going, get a little bit more excitement in the room. We're at $2,500. $3,000 is the next bid. Yep. $3,000 is bid. I have $3,000. Would anyone like to bid $3,500? I have $3,000 with a gentleman near the front row, laying low. Anyone for $3,500? $3,500 going for the 3rd time? No? All right, we're going to sell them for $3,500. $3,000 is the bid. $3,000 in the room. Sold. $3,000. You heard the asking price, the normal MSRP, so to speak, for the rocking chair. We'll start the bidding on the rocking chair at $1,000. Would anyone like to bid $1,000 for the rocking chair? $1,000. Thank you, miss. $1,500. Anyone for $1,500? $1,500. $1,500 is the next bid. Would anybody like to bid $1,500? I'm going to sell it at $1,000. I'll take $1,250. Anyone at $1,250? $1,250? One bid is going to go.
Ian, hold up the chair.
Hold it. Well, we can hold up the chair. I'm used to this. It looks even better on the ground. So the current bid is $1,000. I'll take $1,250. Otherwise, I am going to sell it to the woman in the room with great taste. Going for the first time, second time, third and last time, sold. Congratulations. All right, so now we have the Porsche. Patrick, would you like to add anything else about it?
I won't linger, but I'll just tell you this car absolutely rips. Jeff Swart, come up here. Jeff is a 7 times Pikes Peak champion, maybe 8. And I called him up and I told him that we decided we were going to build a rally car. And I think your first answer was, "Are you nuts?" And then the next one was, "Rod, we built the rally car. Can you please come out and tell me what it was like to drive?"
Yeah, no, it was phenomenal. First of all, it was a great honor to just shake down this car. Obviously, the vision and just passion that Howie and Patrick brings to this whole project was really great to see it executed in this car. And as a sidelight, the guy who really led the build on this is the guy who ran my Pikes Peak program that we won with this year at Pikes Peak. So it was a dream team of people working on it with Rod Emery and everybody else. And you know, this is a car that the difference of this car is it's engineered from the inside out. Everything underneath there is top notch. And when it rolled off our truck, ran it down the gravel road, it was out of the box, a phenomenal car. And I think the best way to sum it up, when I was done driving it, I said, you know, we could enter this thing in a rally next weekend because it's all there. It's got the creds, and I love driving it. And thanks for having me a part of it.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. It was really interesting. One of the most important things was when Jeff and his film team with Real Rogie was getting some B-roll for our video, and I wanted to know how this thing drove on the road because it needed to be a daily driver as well. This thing is street legal, ready to go down the road on the West Coast or wherever it ends up, and it's unbelievable. It has 9 inches of travel, full coilover suspension, but you could drive it to work every day, and that was the goal from the beginning. And there are too many people that put their hands on this car to thank individually, but I love this piece. I hope it goes to a great home, and I hope we see it at Luftgeku next year. I have to say, the nuts and bolts of a lot of today and of everything we've done at Luftgeku is with the Deas family. They have done an unbelievable job, and if you haven't been to their facility in Venice, California, stop by. They have facilities all over the world, but Julian, it's been unbelievable to work with you guys. I don't know where Cindy is right now, but she is unreal. She's the lady that put this whole place from the food, event planning, merchandise. They're just an unbelievable group. And they had a big hand in this. Carby, who's the lead artist, is a big Porsche guy, and so he had a lot of hand in the design, and it's been a lot of fun. So thank you to everybody, and let's turn this thing loose.
All right, everybody, a round of applause for Deus, for everyone, for Patrick, for Howie, for Jeff, for everyone that's been involved in this. And we are going to start the bidding at $60,000. So the bidding is opening to the room at $60,000. We have telephone bidders. We have people from around the world actually bidding on this. We have 60 bid in the room. 70,000 is the next bid. We have 60 asking for 70,000. We have 60 asking for 70. 70 is bid. 70,000 asking for 80,000. 80,000. 80,000 is bid. I have his bid, sir. 90,000 is the next bid. Would you like 90,000? 90,000. Next bid is 100,000. 100,000. We have 110,000. 120 is the next bid. Anybody for 120 on the telephone? We have 120 on the telephone. 130 is the next bid. Anybody can hop back in. 120. 130,000. We have 130,000 in the room asking for 140. 140 is bid. 140 asking for 150. Fast and furious. 140 asking for 150. 140 asking for 150. We have a new bidder at 150. 150, new bidder at 150. We have 150,000 asking for 160. Again, no buyer's premium. 160, $160,000 is bid. 160 asking for 170. We have 165 on the telephone. 165 on the telephone. We'll keep it in fives. 170. 170 in the room. 170, 175, please. We have 170 asking for 175. 175. 175 on the telephone. 180. 180 is the next. 180 on the telephone. Let's get back to 90. Let's get to 190. How about 190? Yeah, 190. 190. We have 190 bid. The next bid is going to be $200,000. That's one hell of a tax write-off. We're at 190, asking for 200. 200 is bid in the room. Give that man a round of applause. We're at 200,000. Next bid. I'm open. I'll take 220. 210. 210 is bid in the room. We have 210,000. 210 asking for 220. These things require some patience. 220 is bid. We have 220 in the room. 220 asking for 230. Do we have 230?
235.
235. 230. See, this is when it gets interesting. 235, 240. 240 it is. 240. 240. 240 it is. 245. Give the man a moment to think. It's a 250. 250. The next bid is 260. 260. 260 is bid in the room. Give you a moment. It's at 260 going to 270. Do you want 270? 265? 265 is bid. We need a good psychological bid here.
You mean 300? Yeah.
It's at 265. Next bid can be 270 or 280. 270. 270 is bid. 275 is the next bid. 275 is bid. We're at 275. 275. We can go to 300, call it a day. All right, 275. That's going to be our last bid. Going once, twice. Anybody else? Third and last time. Sold. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how you conclude a successful auction. Thank you, everyone.